I've been in a slump with my shooting. I've been really upset about myself, but I keep on working on it every day. So I was just thinking it was no reason that one day it would start falling. And today was the day. So keep on working, and that's it.
Can you describe the motions of sweeping your old coach?
I mean, with all the respect that I got for them, that was personal. You don't want to lose against the guy that left you, and that's why we did. And everybody was emotionally attached to this game and trying to play and do his best to win it. And coach told us it was really important for us in the future too, for like the seeding and stuff. So everybody was like locked in and wanting to win this game.
Clarence, can you just kind of describe the environment? Did it kind of remind you of like a tournament game, considering you've kind of been part of some of those?
Yes, I mean, I've been to Texas. This is my third time since my freshman year. Never been like that, but I was expecting it to be packed just because the rivalry and the emotion and what's behind it. So it was no big surprise, but I had a lot of fun outside today.
How many Tech fans do you think were there today?
A lot. I mean, it was a lot of red in the stands. It was probably more orange, but it was loud, and to me, like, it was no difference. It was like 50-50.
Bryson, can you just kind of speak to what Clarence was able to do? I know you guys were kind of struggling. Both teams were kind of struggling with the defensive battle it was, but just what he was able to do and provide you all on offense.
He was able to come in and just give us that extra push that we needed. I mean, Clarence, he stays in the gym, and that's just a tribute to that. And, I mean, we all know he's a dog. He just came out here and did what Clarence does every day in practice and in the game. So, I mean, he really helped us get this win in a big way.
Down the stretch, you guys had a 10-point lead. It got down to one. Just what kind of stopped the bleeding for y'all, or what do you kind of feel kind of really turned it around for y'all?
I felt like what turned us around was really just our intensity on defense. Those guys got a lot of three-point shots up, and they were really smacking down on those, and that was really getting us. That was really keeping them in the game with us and things like that. So we knew that we had to lock in on the defensive end and just be aware of the shooters and where they were at, and I was able to get us that lead and get some stops.
Bryson, y'all had a big edge, points in the paint. Why do you feel like y'all were so dominant there?
We try to hang our hat on physicality. We knew that we had to try to get it play inside out and get our guards some shots. I was going to be able to get our guards some shots, open up the arc for them. And we knew that if we stayed aggressive on the inside, I mean, if you get inside points, that's going to really lead you to a win in the game. So we just try to just impose our will on the inside and get some points that way.
Bryson, was this a little personal for you too, knowing the Texas team and staff the way you do?
I mean, every game is important to me. I mean, it's the next game on the schedule. I mean, I was with Coach Terry, and I mean, I love that man to death. I mean, I was with him for 5 years in college, and coming over to Texas Tech and playing against him, I mean, it's more just a tribute to him and all the work that he put into me and growing me as a man. So.
Did he try to get you to come here?
Yes, definitely, yes.
And why did you got on Tech rather than Texas?
I mean, Coach Adams, defensive guru, and I knew that I had to be a better defender, and that's the main thing that I wanted to be. Is I knew I had to become better on the defensive end, and I put my trust in Coach Adams to do that. So.
What you guys were able to take away Carr and Allen, or like I don't think Carr scored. What was the game plan to take them away? Anything special?
I mean, Marcus Carr had an outstanding game against us over at Texas Tech. He made it really hard for us to get the win. So we knew that he was going to be a key guy that we had to stop in order to get a dub. And then, I mean, Timmy Allen, he's all over the floor. He does a lot of great things. I mean, pass, cut, score. So we knew that he was another guy that we had to neutralize in order for us to get the dub. So.
Clarence, you were able to step up tonight in lieu of Kevin McCullough being out. Still, though, he's one of those guys that was on the bench, hyping you guys up the entire night. What's it mean to have a guy like that in your team, whether he's playing or not?
I mean, K-Mac, he's been there with me for 3 years. He knows what it takes. He's one of the best players in the Big 12. He's going to produce regardless of how many points or how many turnovers he got. He's going to produce. Every night he's going to come, he's going to play defense, and he's a great leader. So still having him on the bench, for example, me, he was giving me advice the whole game. Like, do this, back cut, they don't play. Like, he was just helping me the whole night and talking to everybody. And I think not every team has that leader that can talk to you and help you.
You were playing pretty physical tonight. Did you feel the need to kind of match the energy that Mac usually brings?
Yes, I mean, that's how Coach Adams teach us to play, though. There is no, like, we got to play hard, we got to play physical. Like, everybody knows that.
Clarence, do you feel like you are a bad matchup for Texas? Do y'all have a big edge in just the matchup?
Like, what does that mean?
Well, the front court, you are at 26 points in the paint,
Okay.
more second chance points, and like +8 rebounding. So do you feel feel like y'all's front court just gives y'all a big edge?
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, those guys, they help us guard. You know, they open everything up for us guards because they're so good in the paint. So they cannot, I guess, play on both like inside and outside. So it opens things up for us, I think.
And Bryson, who do you think had the home court advantage today?
Say again.
Who do you think had the home court advantage today?
I mean, the way our fans showed out and the way they were screaming for us while we were scoring and playing defense, I mean, you really couldn't tell. I mean, those our fans. I mean, we got the best fans in the country, and they always show out for us. And I mean, we lay our heart, blood, tears, sweat, all on the floor for them. So, I mean, they always show out for us, and we want to show out for them.
You know, I really hadn't even thought about that. I'm just trying to win another game. I have a lot of respect for Coach Beard and his staff. They work so hard, learned a lot from him. And I don't like playing my friends, and I think he feels the same way. But, you know, our teams are very similar. I mean, we both guard and play physical and play tough, and that's what it was. It was a war out there. We were just fortunate enough to glad the clock ran out and we were able to win.
It's rare you go on the road and have an atmosphere like that with your own fans.
Yeah, it is. We've got such a great fan base, and I thought it made a big difference in the game. It didn't feel as much as a road game as it usually does because we had all that sea of red and they were cheering our guys on, and we certainly needed it.
Mark, can you just speak to that atmosphere? Did you feel like this was a test for like a tournament run essentially?
Well, we're getting there, and it's not far off for both teams, and we play similar, but this game was just a possession by possession game. That's what happens when you get into the playoffs. Each time you have the ball or on defense, either one, it's just more important, and that's the way this game felt like. It was just kind of a tug of war back and forth, but and they were fighting for everything they could get, and we were doing the same. But yeah, it had that flavor of a playoff game.
Mark, Bryson was saying he picked Tech over Texas because you're the defensive guru and he needed to be a better defensive player. You just talk about what you sold him in recruiting and what he's meant.
Well, he certainly wasn't recruited for defense, I can tell you that. But he was a great eye, and he, he is. He's got a ways to go, but he's sure eager. Just a great offensive player, and what he's done now is, if you look at his stats, he's become a really good three-point shooter too. So that was the thing he wanted to work on. But Bryson wanted to come to, getting a bigger program with a bigger stage where he could play against better players and try to help him get to the NBA. And I think he's well on his way. And he's been our leader, works extremely hard every day, and just wants to win. So he didn't care. I mean, I didn't think he had as many points as he did, and he still ended up with 17 points. Sometimes he does that just in different ways, in some quiet ways, but he's out there fighting every possession.
Why do you dominate them in the paint like that? 6 to 10.
Well, they were putting so much pressure on our guards that we feel like that's what we need to do is to, I think every offensive scheme you like to get paint touches and get the ball inside, and you can do that a lot of different ways, but we feel like that was probably the most efficient way without turning it over too much, and so that was kind of, really wasn't as much the game plan going in, but once it started, we just couldn't run our offense because of their defense, so we had to kind of make some adjustments.
And you had more free throws than they did.
Yeah. Yeah, the rebound is the thing that we emphasize the most coming in. They've got a great reputation for getting rebounds and not giving up second and third shots, and we ended up with, gosh, I didn't realize this minute 17 offensive rebounds. But then I look at theirs at 16. That depresses me. So it goes both ways, That's way too many rebounds for either one of us to brag about our defense.
What was the game plan for Carr and Allen?
Well, just with Carr, he was really hard to stay in front of the last game, so we just wanted to do everything we could to keep a body in front of him, have some guys on both sides that were there in the gaps trying to discourage him, and big emphasis there. And then, Jones is always tough, and I was more worried about him maybe the team was because I've seen him hurt us so many years before, but, just trying to keep him getting those threes. So, he was 4 for 10 and ended up with 20 points, so didn't do a very good job there.
Did it surprise you Febres played as much as he did?
No, well, I mean, gosh, look, historically, he's been really good too against Texas Tech. So I told the guys about him, and I have a lot of respect for him you know, as well as Ramey. All three of those guys can really, really shoot it. Now they've got Carr. I love their backcourt.
Coach, in the second half at the end there, when Texas started going on those mini runs, what was the message to the guys? Just kind of.
I don't know. I was spending too much time praying, so we were just trying to hold on. We don't have Kevin McCullough, and that certainly hurts. He's our leader and our point guard, and that's where it's just a work in progress. We've got in some ways great experience, maturity, but we just don't have the experience in the backcourt with point guard situations to bring it up, and we will continue to work on it.
Clarence mentioned trying to match the energy that McCullough usually brings to the table.
He did. Well, Clarence plays hard every time he steps on the floor. Sometimes maybe he lets his emotion get a little bit carried away, but that emotion fuels him. He had an unbelievable game. So proud of him.
He said after the game it was personal, just because you don't want to lose to the guy that left you.
Yeah.
Did you get that sense from your players again that this was?
Yeah, I mean, Marcus had a great game, Clarence, it's just a competitive, it's an emotional feeling that they have, and that emotion made those guys play harder, and I love those guys. Those guys could have gone anywhere, and Clarence and Marcus decided to stay, and along with Kev and TJ, and TJ he was motivated as well. So, but it was a great team win. Really excited for our guys, and this is one that separates us a little bit, I think, from the pack. And I told our guys this is probably a season-changing game to win, and so it's a big win for us.
What did you see after the Texas offensive rebounds? Only 6 second chance points on 16 offensive rebounds. That's a lot of stops.
I'm sorry, say that.
A lot of stops after the Texas offensive rebounds. Only 6 second chance points on 16.
Yeah, I mean, we gave up way too many rebounds to begin with, but I thought we did a good job of on those second chance points to stay focused and not getting frustrated, and to try to guard the 3-point line so they couldn't pass it back out. But and I think we've come a long ways there. That's something we haven't improved on is our when teams do get an offensive rebound, to stay in there and not leak out, and I think we did a good job with that. So, again, it was a really good game for us. Texas missed some wide open threes, though. We're fortunate that they just didn't hit some of those.
Mark, why did you tell the guys this might be a season-changing win for you?
Well, when you look at in the with where we are in the race for the conference championship and in second place, and Texas just was right behind us. Again, it puts us in a position maybe to catch Kansas, and we're still a couple behind them, but at least again it gives us a chance, an outside chance to do that. And if we didn't win this game, we'd certainly be out of even any conversation about a Big 12 championship. But it gives us that opportunity, and also helps us in seeding, getting in the NCAA tournament and so forth. So, and then you beat a team like Texas, got a good record, great reputation on the road. It's a big win.
So I guess you're excited about playing them again. These were so much fun.
Oh gosh, I hope it didn't. I tell you, if Texas wasn't in our conference, I'd never schedule them in a non-conference game. I can tell you that. So.
We're talking about seeding a minute ago. Now with sweeps against Baylor and Texas, and you split with Kansas, is this program and this team starting to teeter into the 1 seed?
Gosh, I hope so. I mean, every game's different, and we always have some challenges. But just so proud of these guys, the way they've stuck together, their toughness, and we don't have any. I mean, other than maybe Bryson, but as far as that scores consistently, we just have different guys just step up and make plays, and just like Clarence did today. And it's fun to be able to coach guys who don't care who gets the credit and keep coming out and playing hard. And we sub a lot, and they're okay with that, and they trust us and our staff. And yeah, it just makes a lot of fun for me. I feel very blessed and fortunate to be able to coach these guys.
Mark, Clarence had a good game on the road against Baylor. I guess what has allowed him to have so much success either on the road?
Well, he's very, very competitive. At times it's just slowing him down a little bit because he just wants to go. And but he's just a fierce competitor, and plays a lot of motion. But again, with Kevin out and a couple other guys weren't playing extremely well, so it was his opportunity. And I thought he just did a wonderful job.
I know he missed a couple early on. Was there something where his teammates just telling him to keep shooting? 'Cause it
No,
seemed like
not
he-
really. We did, it's not his forte or hadn't been, but at the same time, he just wanted to win, and he'd missed a couple, and I said, Clarence, just keep shooting, and he did that. But he was so focused on winning, and just so proud of him.
Did Chris say anything memorable to you in the handshake line?
No, well, yeah, he just said we're supposed to split. Just that was the deal, and I said I know, but he's got a great sense of humor. We text, and I got to talk to him a bit before the game. So again, we're both very competitive, want to win, but it's not fun playing against your friends.